Coronavirus. Can the PM save Christmas? Keep your windows open. New anti-COVID advice. Hancock wants a portfolio of vaccines. Climate. September was hottest on record. People in Manchester react to PM's green plan. You can now buy an electric vehicle for £20,000. Driverless boats could clean up the ocean. Possible strengthening of COVID rules in winter. What turns young people to the far right? Huge fire breaks out near Bradford Railway. Former England goalkeepers on Ray Clements. Professor Van Tam says he would take COVID vaccine. Politician battles wind, rain and falling lights. Monsters, liars. The battle for power at number 10. Any regrets? Dominic Cummings leaves house day after Downing Street exit. What happens after the current lockdown ends? Ministers have formally asked the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency (MHRA) to assess the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in the UK. Mr. Hancock said the companies had already begun submitting data to the MHRA and would submit their full data in the coming days. This is another important step forward in tackling this pandemic, the Health Secretary added. If a vaccine is approved, it will, of course, be available across the UK from our NHS, free at the point of delivery according to need and not ability to pay. Mr. Hancock said, if the MHRA approves a vaccine, we will be ready to start the vaccination next month, with the bulk of the rollout in the new year. He added, we're heading in the right direction, but there's still a long way to go. Coronavirus remains a grave danger right now. The news conference came as it was announced that a further 511 people had died after testing positive for COVID-19, with another 20,252 confirmed coronavirus cases in the UK. England's Deputy Chief Medical Officer said he believed the UK was on the glide path towards rolling out a vaccine. However, Professor Jonathan Van Tam, who appeared at the news conference remotely as he is self-isolating after a household contact, warned delivering a vaccine might not be totally straightforward. He added, do I accept that sometimes when you are on the glide path you can have a side wind and the landing is not totally straightforward, totally textbook? Of course, Professor Van Tam warned that infection rates would go back up again if people did not follow coronavirus restrictions put in place around Christmas, but he dismissed the idea there was a magic number of how many days of further restrictions would be needed for each day COVID rules might be loosened over the festive period. The UK government and the devolved administrations in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have held talks on a joint approach for Christmas, with all four nations hoping to ease current restrictions so as to allow families to gather in greater numbers. But Mr. Hancock said it was still too early to tell what rules might be in place over Christmas, or what restrictions might be required once England's current lockdown ends on the 2nd of December. I'm afraid we still haven't made those decisions, he said. The Health Secretary said he was more and more confident that life will be closer to normal by spring, and he added the UK was clearly near the peak of the second wave of coronavirus infections. Earlier on Friday, the Office for National Statistics (ONS) said the incidence rate of COVID-19 appeared to have leveled off in England and Scotland. It also said rates had been decreasing in Wales and Northern Ireland. Meanwhile, the government's Scientific Advisory Group for Emergencies (SAGE) said the reproduction number, or R value, for the whole of the UK had dropped to between 1 and 1.1.